Trump signs an executive order promoting crypto, paving the way for digital asset stockpile. Very interesting news. We'll take a look at Bitcoin in a moment, but Bitcoin is not skyrocketing as some would hope. Here's the problem. Most of the order focuses on establishing technology and rules around crypto and its development in the US. One of the critical pieces is the creation of a working group to consider a national digital asset stockpile, potentially derived from cryptocurrencies lawfully seized by the federal government. I have to wonder if Donald Trump is like, well, let's get a basket of cryptos. Maybe we could put some of that Trump and Melania coin in there in the basket. It doesn't all have to be Bitcoin. I don't know what Trump has in mind, but the bottom line is that I was at the Bitcoin conference in Tennessee when he was on stage and he was pumping Bitcoin and the idea of a strategic reserve asset in Bitcoin. And today, the paperwork barely mentioned Bitcoin, if at all. It was all about a crypto basket, and it's not sending Bitcoin higher. And if you're not pushing Bitcoin higher, the alts aren't going to run either. And so today I'm going to talk about the Bitcoin chart. It's a little bit of a where are we at right now? And I promise you, I'm not going to get too bearish, but I can't necessarily get too bullish. We've got to follow the charts, and I'll show you why my sentiment is very neutral today. Donald Trump is not gotten behind Bitcoin the way that he had suggested he would in the run-up to the election. And right now, the big news of the day is it's a crypto basket and a committee to examine the coins and what should be done with them that Washington owns. Let me bring on my guest and get his reaction to this big news. And then I'm going to dive into some charts. I'm going to tell you right now, if you own Bitcoin, if you're betting on Bitcoin, if you own XRP, if you're betting on SUI, you're going to want to see what the charts are showing me. This is going to be an important video. Let's bring on my special guest, Mr. Tribal Trades himself, aka Kiwi Mo. Mark, how you doing today?
Oh, very good, Josh. Thanks for having me on the show. As always, it's an honor and a privilege. And yeah, good shout out to everybody out there watching and tuning in. Make sure you smash the like button there for Josh. For sure, it's been great.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, Mark, your quick reaction to this news. This is the big moment that we've been waiting on all year long with the pro-Bitcoin president. And this memo, I haven't read it myself, but I'm not even sure it mentioned Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think confusion is the word that I'm seeing when I look at crypto Twitter. People are confused. They were expecting a Bitcoin crypto reserve, and that's not what they got. And I think the price has reacted accordingly. Like you said, we don't know what's even going to go in there, who is going to be the advisors to that as well. Now, we assume Bitcoin's going to be part of it for sure, but I think people are a little bit disappointed. I don't think people wanted altcoins in there. I think they wanted Bitcoin in there. I don't think they wanted this party and that party. You know, part of the beauty of Bitcoin is it's the anonymous of it. You know, Satoshi Nakamoto. You know, there's no company, there's no structure, there's no board, there's nobody benefiting or using the money to buy a private yacht or something. And now you're going to have all this lobbying, in my opinion, of all these different altcoin people kind of pushing for space to get their altcoin in that basket to get that benefit. And I don't think that's what people wanted. I think people wanted the 21 million limited supply, strategic reserve Bitcoin, and I don't think they got that. And if they kind of did, it's not very clear. It seems like it's going to be a bust. Is that the way that it was? Like,
well, first of all, I loved what you broke down there, but I'm going to get biblical today. There's a we're getting biblical, folks. There's a Bible verse that says, make the message clear so the runner can run with it. And in my opinion, he would have benefited everything, even the Trump and Melania coin, if he had simply gotten behind Bitcoin 100%. That
Yes.
is the tide generator. It will raise all boats or bring all down. And this just wasn't, I don't think it was the right move. I don't think the message is clear yet again, you know, and I am a little bit disappointed. But and the fact is that it's not pumping. It's not pumping. So the market's spoken, chart price is truth, and the price is going down because this isn't the message that cryptocurrency market's been waiting on. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments section.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me know. Yes, Kespo, Jesus is king. And I use the term price is truth.
Yes.
Hit those likes, guys. We're going to get into some important charts. I think that the most important thing we can do is set a clear path for support of Bitcoin. That's personally my belief, and I don't think that we got that today. I think that Trump's going to hear pretty soon from his team of crypto consultants that this isn't what was needed to get the entire crypto market higher. And so the question is, what is your current strategy? What is the catalyst that's going to move the cryptos that you're invested in higher? You guys know that I've talked about SUI a ton, and I have said it on this show, but maybe some of you have missed it. But I dumped all my SUI bags when we hit my target of $5. I've highlighted that, I think, on one other video, and I want to highlight it again today. And people that are close to me have texted me and said, "Hey, Josh, what do you think? SUI's coming back. Is this a good buy the spot moment?" And I'm going to take you into the charts and show you what the charts are saying to me regarding SUI. We'll get into Bitcoin. We're going to touch on XRP. But the main purpose of this video is to talk about the big picture view. What is the catalyst now? If we've gotten the big executive order that we'd all been waiting on that was going to push the market higher, we just got it. We just got the crypto bill. The market said it's not enough. And so if we don't have that to look forward to, and I see people are confident in Donald Trump, and that's fine, but they're like, okay, he'll sort it out. Well, he'll sort it out. I don't think it's good enough today to make me money when I'm watching the price of Bitcoin go down. So let's take a minute. I'm not getting political, not putting out hate. I'm just telling you that I would have loved we're buying 500 Bitcoin a day every day. And, that would have been crazy. That would have pumped. Everything would have flew. Yeah. Everything would have flew, man. All right, let's go
with that, Josh. I think you're bang on with that. I think that's what people were expecting, and now they've got confusion. And I think you getting that great Bible verse out just nails it. That's exactly what happened, and people are confused and they don't know what's going on. It's not clear.
Yeah, Gary Gensler, he already accomplished that. We need people to bring clarity. All right. So let's pop over to the Bitcoin chart and let's just examine it in, unbiasedly. We've had a doji going all day long. Let me just zoom in so that those who are learning can really understand. This is a doji. And if you don't know what a doji is, it's a Japanese word for same as. It means that the price is the same. It's not changed. We had a little run up, we had a little run down, but the price is the same as it was when the market opened. The body reflects the open and the close price, and you can see this has got no body. Nobody loves the Donald Trump executive order. The bulls don't like it. The bears don't like it. And we've got a big old doji here. Okay, so we're looking for market direction. And I just want to keep this simple because I know people, not everybody is a master of charts. And so I don't want them to go off of the sentiment of my emotions. I want them to go off the facts of these charts. So let's look at the facts. I want you guys to all remember that we have a head and shoulders pattern here that we did have back here at 92K, okay? Very clearly established. We bounced off of it. It never broke down. We came back and we've made essentially a new high. Now, the market could be having a slow reaction to Donald Trump's news. I don't know. I can tell you that there are some other bullish dynamics in this chart, but I'm going to go over the bullish ones and the bearish ones. We have here a W pattern, which is also bullish. It gets confirmed based on the break of the high, which right now is 108. So you'll see strong price acceleration if we get back above 108K. And especially if we open and close a daily candle above 108, then my immediate target is 116. That's where we're going to go. So again, we're not getting bearish. We're not getting bullish. We're looking at the charts. So right now we have a doji. It's a plus symbol. If we open and close a candle beneath 99, well, then we're going back to 92. If we open and close a candle above 108, well, we're going to 116. The bulls and bears are fighting it out right now, trying to figure out if what Trump did was good or bad. And, it's undetermined. It's undetermined. Now let's go look at the MACD because that's where I get all my confidence in trading from. The MACD tells me a lot. So technically, the fact that we're above the zero line on the daily MACD means that it's currently in the hands of the bulls. And I think we can agree that the bulls are in charge of the chart right now because we're up above 100,000 and we're not crashing. The local trend has been moving up. So the bulls are in charge of this chart. It's reflected down here on the MACD. Here's the problem, because remember, the MACD is the story of momentum. I'm going to write it out for you guys. Momentum. Did I spell it correctly? How embarrassing it would be if I didn't spell it correctly. All right. Here's the problem. When we got to this high back here, okay, that was this momentum high here, okay? When we got to the current high right now, we have a much lower momentum, okay? So this is called bearish divergence. Now, Bitcoin can remain under bearish divergence for weeks and months as the price continues to go higher. I've traded Bitcoin for years and years and years, and I want to repeat that. Bitcoin can remain under bearish divergence for days and weeks and months before the price reverses. But it is absolutely a warning sign that the momentum is getting lost. And so that brings us to this question. And we're going to go through Sui the same way here in just a minute. But it brings us to the question, typically you get that final higher high on lower momentum when you're near the end of the run. Okay, so guys, that's true for everything. It's true for NVIDIA stock. It's true for Bitcoin. It's true for Tesla. You get a higher high in price with a lower low in momentum when you're near the end. So I'm just going to shoot you straight right now. Are we still in the Bitcoin bull run? Absolutely, technically, yes. I don't know what the catalyst is going to be. We didn't get it with Trump's news today. I don't know what the catalyst is that we're waiting on for Bitcoin to pump, but it's not pumping. We're in the parabolic phase. We had 5 months of consolidation from March until October. We finally took a step up into the parabolic phase with the news that Trump was going to be, as he said, the most pro-Bitcoin crypto president in history. And right now, he gave a mixed message, and we're not flatlining. We're just not going higher. Mark, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, I think you're bang
Let
on.
me ask you, Mark. Mark, am I killing the Bitcoin buzz today?
No, I think you're nailing it right on. I mean, you say price is truth, and the market reacted, and the market reacted the same way I did. I was like disappointed, and I think what we saw the other day. I agree with you. I think the bull run is still going. I think there's a small chance that it's over. Maybe 1-2% chance. You always have to consider that. But I think we saw when the Trump coin came out, it didn't really add liquidity to the market. Where's the liquidity going to come from? It sucked. It was like it sucked. All the altcoins were red. It was like on crypto bubbles, it was Trump, Solana, and could you believe it, Fartcoin, were all green. And I got a screenshot of it. I shared it on X, and all the rest was a sea of red. It was like it just sucked liquidity out of the market. And so being in the right coins is so important. But then being in the right coins at the right time is even more important. And what you've said is bang on. You've sold your SUI. You've nailed that trade. Why? Because SUI is lower. If you wanted to buy it back, you could buy back more SUI than you had before. So when it gets back to $5 or $6, you'll be able to make more profit because you're not getting emotionally attached to these trades. The other thing as well that you've identified, this is, in my opinion, this is not an investor bull market. This is a get in and get out kind of bull market. It's the trader's bull market. All of a sudden, it's in meme coins. Then the money jumps to AI agents, and now the money's jumped out of AI agents into Trump coin and a few other coins. And that's what we're seeing. So unless you're like a full-time trader that's sitting on your computer, knowing where follow the money and show where the money is. I mean, look at XRP. For 6 years, it was a nothing burger trade. But if you got in the trade in November, it wasn't the right coin. For years, it wasn't the right coin. And I'm not a big fan of XRP, but I'm a big fan of making money. And I'm a big fan of people making money. And if you'd gotten in the XRP trade at like 30 or 40 cents and wrote it up to $3, that's a nice 10x. Being in the right coin at the right time is crucial. So the way that you've communicated that, I think, is great, because I do feel I've kind of shifted and pivoted a little bit. Look, I've been fairly successful in this bull run because I have the three trading strategies: the hodl strategy, the swing strategy, and the day trade leverage in and out strategy. And by far, the swing and the day trade in and out have been very profitable because I'm always selling the tops, I'm selling the greed, and I'm always buying back in on the fear. And so even my video today, I said, listen, with my hodl bags now, I'm going to actually be more aggressive about selling those off on the pumps. I'm going to move that money, either some of it into my jeans, because you take risk capital off the table, but then also I'm going to move it into some of my swing and day trade bags, because I feel that's where I have had the most success, as you have and even with the SUI trade there. And I sold my swing bag at $5.36. And then I'm looking to buy back lower as well. Now, of course, I still have my SUI hodl bag, which is about average cost of $1. But once we get back to $5, $6, $7, I'm going to be really trimming that back.
The hodl trade was over in March of 2024. I'm going to let that sit for a moment. If you were a buyer in the winter of 2022 and coming up into 2023, the hodl trade for me peaked out in March of 2024. But the select crypto pickers, day traders trade began then. And just like Mark said, crypto's not flush with liquidity. It's been sloshing around from the hottest meme coin to peanut coin during the election to poop coin to now Trump's coin. And it's not everything pumping. It's not the altcoin seasons that we used to have. It's not been a hodler's market. It's only been a trader's market. And for the time being, I don't see that changing. And so this video is not meant to be a big wet blanket, because I am stoked about the profit opportunity ahead. But a lot of that could be to the downside. It could be profiting to the downside or the upside. I went over the Bitcoin chart. I showed it to you, right? The triggers are there. I showed them to you. But let me just quickly go into the SUI chart, because I don't want to neglect covering some of these that folks are invested in. Roger made a great comment about catalysts. We need the Pope to buy some Bitcoin. We need the Pope to step in and buy some. The Dalai Lama, the Pope. Somebody needs to come in here and give us a new catalyst.
I would agree with you on one part there, but I'm going to disagree with you on the other part. I actually think the hodl market finished in around September when SUI took off, because that was the month that I was on air with you, and people were saying, what about this coin? What about this coin? You were saying, no, what about SUI? And it was at 77 cents. And that was the last time I added a little bit more. I think it was early September. It was around the time that Blub came out, and Blub went from 4 million to 80 million market cap, and we shared about Blub. And that was for me. I think around September was the time that I made my last hodl buy, maybe the middle of September, and Sui was about $1.15, and I haven't added really there to my hodl buys there at all. So I agree with you. I'm just going to disagree. I think September was the last time. I think from there on it's been a trader's market, but I feel that accumulation time where we had that big dump in March, and even the August yen cash carry trade dump there was Sui went down to 46 cents, I believe, in August. So I think August, September, those last chances to fill the bags, and I think from here on in has been more about swing trading and leverage trading and those in and out short day trades, Josh.
Yeah. So let me define. First of all, I agree with your point. Let me just define my comment a little bit more or explain myself a bit more. And then I'm going to get into the SUI chart. Thank you guys for hitting that like. I appreciate you guys. I'm take ADA as an example. So right here is March of 2024. It's not that we didn't get higher. Okay. So we got up here to 81 cents. And yes, you could have hodled and you could have gotten all the way up to $1.24. So it's not that the hodl trade was completely over in March, but coming up out of the winter, this is one of the biggest pumps we had. And to be honest with you, for me, this was the moment that the trader began to do better because this was a cleaner pump, right? From this point forward, if you bought at 80, you probably panic sold when it dropped down to 27 cents, right? And yes, you got another chance at another pump. This occurred here in November. Everything took off in November, but I just think that there's a lot of people that have been buying these tops, and the easy trade, the hodl trade, which I consider the winter trade, that it pretty much was over in March, and from that point forward, this half of the crypto season's been all about day trading. Let's get into SUI. Let's talk about what is going on here. I'm going to start off by showing you the weekly chart, okay? And I just want you to notice a couple things. Matter of fact, let me start off. I'm not sure whether I want to give you the daily chart or the weekly chart. Okay. So this is where things become a big concern. And I want you to study this with me, and I want you guys to see why this matters. Okay, so back here on the daily time frame, we finally got this crossover on the 0 level on the histogram right here, okay? So this is right here, this big fat green candle, and often moves like this occur with monumental green candles at the bottom of a large move. So SUI had this long move down, this huge green candle, and that was the buy signal. And that's when it crossed over on the daily on the MACD. Now, ever since then, you can see that it stayed above. It got close here, but it didn't go beneath. It got close here, it didn't go beneath. And it got close here, it didn't go beneath. And all that while, the price has been climbing, climbing, and climbing. Well, I just want to put everybody on this alert. Let me zoom in on the MACD. I want you all to see this, okay? I'm going to zoom in on it. We have officially, I want to get in closer. That's right. Look at that. Look at that ominous cross right there, okay, guys? It is officially crossed back below the 0 line on the daily time frame. And I just want you guys who are buying now and are buying the dip and are buying because Josh told you to buy at 70 cents and told you it hit $55. I told you to buy at 70 cents. I told you eventually it would hit $5. We got it. We got it. Okay. Everything I told you came to pass. Now, the MACD, for the first time since August of 2024, the MACD is officially possibly crossing under. Now, if it crosses under, if it went 7 months in an upswing because it crossed above, 7 months in an upswing because it crossed above, what will the impact be if we cross below? Do you think it's going to be good? Are you guys bullish? Am I making you feel bullish? So is there more to gain here than to lose? Now let's go over, let's talk about what it would take to get me bullish again. and it's not even that hard. It's pretty technical. It's pretty simple. Let's change this to the 200-day on SUI. Okay. So here's one thing to understand. This tells you, moving average, we are in the hands of the bulls. We're above the 200. You want to be above the 50. So let's just quickly check that real quick. But I'm going to make a point here about the 200 in just a second. All right, here we are. So we are beneath the 50. So you're no longer in an uptrend when you fall beneath the 50. So SUI has to wick above the 50 in the next 24 hours, because if it opens and closes a candle beneath the 50, that's not good. If it crosses beneath the daily on the MACD, that's not good. So if you ask me, am I super bullish about buying right now? And should I buy because there's blood in the street? And should I buy because it's pulled back, it's pulled back from $5.24 to 440. It's a nice little pullback. I would just tell you that, unfortunately, I'm not feeling that. And here's what would take to get me bullish again. Okay, let's change this back to the 200. Okay, so just be patient with me, guys. So the fact that we're above the 200 is good. It means that the overall trend is still strong into the upside. Now, what has to happen here is this is pointing straight down, and as I already showed you, it's already crossed below the zero line. The MACD line, which is the blue line, has crossed below the zero line. And the down move is confirmed when the orange line, which is the signal line, follows. And so this gets confirmed bearish when the orange line catches up with the blue line and it crosses beneath the zero. Then it's a confirmed bearish move. But alternatively, if we get this last minute curl up and the opposite happens, it curls above the orange, then at that transaction point, okay, so right here, at that transaction point, it would be printing a new buy signal because we would be getting a curl up and we're still above the 200. That's the best that I've got for you guys. And I'm not trying I'm not trying to be bearish. I love SUI. I begged you guys to buy it at 70 cents. I actually talked about it at 50 cents and 30 cents back in the day, but I got to the point of begging the buy at 70 cents. So I'm not bearish on it. But let's just talk. Let's say I'm missing it. Let's say I'm reading the technicals wrong. Bitcoin breaks out and SUI breaks out. If SUI goes from $5 to $10, which has been my high prediction for SUI, I've said that this could get to $10. If that happens, it's just a 1x from here, okay? And that's not as exciting as some of you guys might think, okay? Especially because we saw a 6x largely or a 7x, a 6 to 7x from 70 cents to $5.30. And so I just want everybody to put in perspective that it's possible we could go from $5 to $10, but it does tell me that a lot of the bull run has been processed so far. And the technicals have more bearish signs with lost momentum and a cross beneath the zero. When we crossed above the zero, it gave us 7 months of winning. If we cross beneath the zero, it could give us 7 months of losing. Mark, let me get your reaction. And while you're reacting, I'm going to set up the XRP chart.
Yeah, I see the same bearish signals across the board. Really, we've seen a sea of red since especially since the Trump coin come out and kind of take that liquidity out. I think there's also a little bit of hedging risk, maybe de-risking with the Japanese rate hike coming in tonight. There's possibly, people remember what happened in August and there was a big drop. Are we going to see that? Maybe are people more prepared for it? Has it been priced in? We're going to find that out. So I would agree with you. I think that when I look at the SUI chart there, I'm not seeing blood in the streets. I'm not seeing fear. There's not a reason for me to buy that chart. And I think you don't want to be buying the dip that just keeps dipping. You want to make sure that you find a good place to buy a reversal of some kind. There are certain things that I look for. I won't go into all the details here, but I wouldn't say that, oh wow, SUI's down from $5.30 down down $1, that's not blood in the streets kind of stuff for me. So my price targets for Suri are a little bit higher because I figure if Cardano can get to 90 billion in the last cycle and basically have no product pretty much at all that entire time, I think that Sui can get to those levels, and I think it's sitting at about 15. But I think you can get a 5x from here. I think $25. Maybe at the very top 40 or 50, but a lot will really depend on what we see unfold over the coming months. I do historically. February and March are very bullish. And of course, we've got Powell coming up next week. We got to get through the Japan rate hike. And then we got the Grinch himself who destroyed the Christmas pump coming up. What's he going to say? Is he going to be bearish? Is he going to be more dovish? Is there going to be a pause on the rate hike as what's expected? So there's a few things that we just don't know that we have to wait and see. But overall, I have got some buy orders down there for Sui and some of the other coins. So if we do get a little bit of a flash crash down, that I can pick some of that up a lot lower than what I sold it for at about $5.36.
Very good, very good. Rebecca Carr asked, "Should this be a concern for those of us hodling Sui to 25?" I've shared my journey. I'm not personally around too many crypto traders that are making as much money as me. I'd love to talk with more people that are trading at my level. And I've shared everything I've done with you guys when I've done it. When I've sold, I've sold. When I've hodled, I've hodled. And I think the message of this video is not a message for retailers. So if you're a retail investor, this video might suck for you. I am definitely saying that hodl has been a pain gain for a lot of people. And if you've made money, you might have got lucky. The charts are doing something different. I predicted Sui the last time at $3. I said, we're not going down. We are going to $5. We got there. Now we're at, and if you had loaded the boat on the strength of my prediction, you would have had a massive, massive win. And now we're at $5. I sold at $4.95. I didn't have to get the very top. We're pulling back. I've showed you the technicals, and there's a chance that we could, if we got back above $5, I would load a trade position again and I would ride the pump, but there would probably be a catalyst news that would be bullish for the markets, better than we got today on this crypto executive order that really wasn't as great as people had hoped for. And at the moment, I don't see it. So, for those who are hodling, I did that. Everybody gets into the crypto game and they have their hodl moment where they believe in something. And for me, that was ADA. If you guys would like to know, I had 6 figures of ADA that I carried. I started buying on the dip after 2021. So as it was coming down, I was buying. I was ignoring the charts because I believed in it so much. You don't have to do that so many times before you realize that's not a winning game. So
I would add to that, Josh, as well, that we're at a stage in the bull market where in 2021 most alts topped in April. So we're getting in late January here. So for me, if you got into Sui at $1 or whatever, and it's at $5, that's 500%. The original capital should come off the table. Maybe some more than that. And if you bought a little bit higher, it's not really going to be a hodl position because there's no guarantees it's going to go to $10, let alone $25. Okay, I think it's going to go to $25 in 2025, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. I think it will. I'd be surprised if it didn't. But this is where selling the big green candles comes in, like you did for Sui, and then buying the big red extreme fear and being patient for the market to go into extreme fear and to get those red candles, and then being brave to not have FOMO and to sell those big green candles. I'm fearful when others are greedy, and I'm greedy when others are fearful. And that is what has made me successful in both the stock market and the crypto market, is I'm patient enough, and that when that profit comes, those green candles, I see profit, I take profit.
If I get the likes up to 1,000, I'll give everybody XRP technicals. And I think that the story of today would shock you about my sentiment for XRP versus my sentiment for SUI would be absolutely shocking to some of you. But I'm not going to share them unless we get these likes up to 1,000. It's too
Should have at least
valuable.
over 500. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
XRP is rumored to be maybe in the basket. And if that goes in the basket, that's going to give it a decent pump.
The
You know, I'm
news
not saying
was
$50 XRP, but it could definitely get up to $6, $7 there, maybe 10.
Yeah, the news was more bullish for XRP than for
I
Bitcoin, to be
agree.
honest with you, because the crypto basket is going to include the top 10 cryptos more than likely, or something along those lines. And so I think the bullishness that we would have seen in Bitcoin kind of has been spread across to some of the altcoins. Let's take a brief moment and talk about the SUI memes, because
Yes.
of there's people that got into those. And,
Yeah.
I did a video recently. I told everybody which the top three SUI
Yes.
memes were. And the goal is to find the top meme coin on SUI that may become $1 billion project. And after Bitcoin kind of pulled back at the end of December, SUI's been flatlined for the most part. It's really gone sideways. The momentum has, obviously, I just showed you the MACD. The momentum fell off hard, and that took a big toll on the SUI memes. And so obviously we had to cool off on dropping the next hot SUI meme. But Mark, just the other day, you shared some hot news on a SUI meme, and I just want to remind you guys that the Discord, it's never, you might not be trading, but the Discord's trading 24/7.
Yeah.
Why don't you
Yeah.
share that project with them real quick? And let's get
Yeah.
those likes, guys. I'm serious about the XRP. I
Yeah.
want I want to show you the chart. I want to show it to you. I love the charts, but we got to get that to 1,000, and I'll give it to you. Otherwise, I'm just gonna talk here and answer questions.
Yeah, so I mean, for those who missed that show, it's still the same three: Axel, Lo-Fi, and I forget the third one. That's great, amazing. Oh, Sonic. There we go. Axel, Lo-Fi, Sonic. Only the one that went 20,000 after we gave it in crypto gems at 2 cents. But Suimon, I think I've been quite impressed with the team there. I've spoken to them a couple of times. I'm speaking them to again a little bit later, and I shared it in crypto gems because they pushed out some news where we're able to kind of get it out to the gems kind of as it broke, that they were evolving from just being a meme to a meme plus AI agent plus gaming. They've got a game coming out, plus they also have NFTs. So they're putting a lot of work, and they still have the roadmap of an exchange listing as well. And so I added to my position there. We shared it in crypto gems, went up 400%. I added a little bit more to my position around about where it's at now at a 0.00 4 zeros 9, so somewhere around there. I added to the position. So I'm bullish on Suimon, but of course, with all the memes, as we've learned, a lot of them don't make it, a lot of them don't survive. Got to give these guys credit. They're still fighting, they're still grinding. They had a huge pump up to 1,000% when we originally shared about them, and that move retraced. And then now the chart is, since they released that X news that went out, then that obviously has had a nice little rebound there. So the chart's looking a little bit better. But again, let's make sure that we responsible, and that we don't use money that we can't afford to lose. And I think see profit, take profit. When there's profit there, get the original capital off the table. This is what I've always taught. When you get to 300 to 500%, getting that off, then even if it goes to zero, you've at least protected the original capital there, and not be FOMOing in, buying on a pullback. This is on a little bit of a pullback, so I managed to get in. It pumped up. I took my original capital off the table. It's pulled back today, and so I was able to get in on a pullback.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. So the message, just to keep it very simple, is there has not been a ton of meme coins dropped on SUI, but on the good SUI Susi news, There was, from the point in which it was released and shared in crypto gems, there was a 400% opportunity on that. And so,
Sue him.
Suiman, sorry.
Yeah.
There was an opportunity there. So just stay close. Some of you who are hodling cryptos, and I'm going to get to this question by Rocky B, you're missing out on opportunities because you're hodling. And the whole message of this video is that both the stock market and the crypto market, it hasn't been a great, I don't know about an alt season. Alt seasons are when all of the alts just pump, 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 and money
Yes.
and liquidity flows into everything, and it causes everything to go up. We haven't had that. Okay. I'm not seeing it. It looks to me like a crypto pickers market because there are projects that are pumping like crazy, but it hasn't been everything. And when those projects pump, it seems to suck the money out of everything else. And so it's a news driven market. And I think we're going to continue to see that. And so, no, I don't actually believe that we're going to get the alt season that we typically have because in 2024 and 2025, we never got it. We've never got it. Now, we did see the legacy coins come alive, but this has been the most unspectacular altcoin season yet. All that I'm largely seeing is money slushing around from project to project. And so if you're a hodler, it's been you've been getting left behind, or occasionally you might have got lucky. So I would say that, he said, Rocky B said, so make your message clear. As you said, are alts dead? No alt season. I think we're going to have an altcoin season, but I think it's going to be a select few. And so if you have a big bag and you are diversified, that's another thing I've talked against in the crypto space. I don't believe in diversification in cryptos, because they're all penny stocks. They're all unprofitable businesses that have opportunity. But the minute the market turns south, the minute Bitcoin goes into winter, all these altcoins and all these projects are going to get crushed and go down into the pennies. And so I don't believe in that. And so I would caution against it. We're going to have an altcoin season, but it isn't going to be as broad as it has every other time. It's going to be select projects because there's way more knowledge about what it takes for these projects to succeed. And this has been the season of meme coins, to be honest with you. Peanut, crap coin, poop coin, fart coin, this has been just the momentum traders market. You guys are over there hodling legit projects to some degree while all the money's running around to Trump and Melania. What does Melania know about crypto? Don't get mad at me for speaking the truth. I'm not a political person. Someone's going to say, if Trump had created an executive order to pumped Bitcoin today, I would be over here excited. I'd be like, Trump did it. He did what he said he was going to do. I would be excited, but I'm not going to love him if he's not doing what I want him to do for my money. Don't get mad at me. Yvette said Trump made 75 billion a few days ago. He doesn't care anymore. That's a valid point. It's a valid point. His bags are pumped and full. Trump just crushed it with the Trump coin and the Melania coin. So I think that's a fair comment, a very fair comment, about where his attitude is regarding crypto. He got into the White House. He seized his moment and his opportunity. He ran up a couple personal projects, king of the meme coins for a day. And now he's left us with a crypto basket strategy that is more or less undefined. So it is. That's my view on it. We are at 828. We don't have much further to go. Let's get those likes up to 1,000.
For sure.
I
agree with you there. I just think the first meme coin, okay. And actually, this is a good example. I mean, I woke up and it was already $29, and I got in on a pullback at 24, and I went to sleep, and I woke up and it was 76. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to cash in 300% on this move, and I did that. But then I continued to trade in and out of Trump coin with the volatility, and I made a lot more money trading the sideways movements, around the $30, $40, 30, 38, 40, around that, and just continue to trade it. And I was in 20, 30, 40 trades, over a couple of days period, and made more money than I did on that one little kind of buy, hold, and sell trade. So, and the good thing that I did was I sold at 76. That was the right move because I'm identifying that's more of a trader's market than an investor's market. And so I think that that's what I can take from it and give to people here. That it's disappointing then for the Melania coin to come in. I think whoever advised him to do that was poor advising, and I hope they don't bring out a Baron coin or any other Eric coin or any other coin there. I think they just need to stop with Trump and Melania there. But all that did was suck Melania coin, just sucked the liquidity out of Trump. And I think it made people less bullish about the Trump coin as well. Just my opinion. And I think he's the right person that got voted in. I think his policy is going to be better for the stocks and for crypto. I just didn't agree with that move.
Yeah. So 1,800 people liking, but only 879 likes. Boris Strong says, look at Josh's face. I don't know. Someone asked me something about my word, but I don't know what they're referring to. You got to get those likes to 1,000, 1,800. So someone
someone says you got to count the hearts too. I don't even know how to count the hearts.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're very close. We're very close. No Sui memes either. Guys, we talked about the Sui memes. And the answer to that is if things pop off, I'll alert them. I'll alert them. 9/11, we had a nice little pop there. So I'm going to drop XRP technicals as soon as we get to 1,000 likes. That's a reasonable request. And to be honest with you, if you've watched the video and you saw the SUI technicals and you learned something about the MACD, or you already know the MACD, you're going to find it's a radically different story. Now, what does it mean? Again, guys, I have said it countless times. I'm not XRP Army. If I had to pick one, XRP Army or SUI Army, I guess I had largely been in the SUI camp. But I've got to follow the charts, and the charts on SUI are in a precarious spot on the MACD, on that crossover of momentum, price at $5, momentum down in the gutter. Could it change? Yes. I told you what the buy signal would be. It just isn't there yet. And hey, I'll do a video. If the buy signal prints, we're at 983 likes, just 20 of you.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay in Team Sui camp, Josh. I'm gonna stay in Team Sui camp, even though the chart is looking a bit tough. I think it's going to rebound. It's been the star of this bull run for the whole bull run, not just since November. And I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to go with Team Sui. I think it's going to still outperform. We'll see.
Yeah, there's such a need, guys, for people to learn the technicals. And I'm going to get to the XRP because it looks like we're at the right number. So just give me one more moment. I've been nervous about something, Mark, and I'm curious if you've had this same experience. Now, guys, listen carefully to me. This is not my first crypto cycle. And what I noticed in the last month is that I had everybody I ever have known in my life, pastors from years ago, childhood friends. I'm talking all the childhood friends came out of the woodwork and asking me about crypto, wanting to, start paying attention. And we're talking people that got nothing. They don't know nothing about Wall Street. They don't know nothing about crypto. And they're texting me, okay? And to me, that was a surefire sign that we're near the top of something, okay? Because when, everybody's brother's uncle, cousin's friend decides they're going to buy some fart coin to get rich, okay? I literally have had people call me the other day and say, hey, this Bitcoin looks like it's doing pretty good. I'm thinking of buying some at 108,000. And when I got that and read it, I turned to my wife and I'm like, is that the top? Was this text message marking the top? Guys, I want to be clear because I know some of you just hear things one way. I'm bullish. We're in the Bitcoin cycle. I see Bitcoin hitting 116,000. Okay. It's not acting characteristically. We never had a red monthly candle in the history of Bitcoin once the parabolic phase began. And the parabolic phase is defined as when you get a candle that opens and closes above the previous market high. So we've never had a red monthly candle. We got one this time in December, and January is sideways. So we had 5 months of consolidation. Now we had one good month, and now we're into 2 more months of consolidation. We got to our Trump catalyst news event. He said basket, and he didn't say Bitcoin. And so we've got to follow the charts. And some of you guys need to hear this, because if you've loaded up at the top, if you're buying XRP because somebody told you it's going to 25 bucks, I don't have to tell you, you're going to learn the same thing that a lot of us learned in the last cycle, buying Solana too high, or buying ADA too high, or even buying the dip when XRP eventually comes off of its top. And I'm not calling the top. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you an up target that I see here in XRP in just seconds away. But eventually it's going to top, and people are going to buy the dip to their demise. No stop losses being used, and they're going to get crushed. And then here's the problem, because I've been down this road with the community back in 2022, when the alarms to buy begin to fire off, when Bitcoin eventually bottoms in the years ahead, when everything has been forgotten about. You guys have to remember that Solana got to $10. It got to $10, right? You're talking fortunes could have been made by you if you stuck with it and bought at the right time. Now we're in the top environment, okay? We're not in the parabolic moment right now. Bitcoin, even if it did well, would go from 109 to best 177, in my opinion. So let's go check out the XRP chart, and we're going to wrap up this video with a few more comments. Here we go, guys. Okay. As I was talking to you guys about momentum, remember how I pointed out to you that one day SUI eventually crossed up on the 0 line, printing a buy signal. And for 7 months, SUI ran. Well, that's the same thing that happened right here. It's hard to see because SUI was like a stable coin with no momentum for a long time. But eventually, it had this cross-up breakout moment. This was the buy signal, whoever had been watching the chart. Now, here's what I want you guys remember, that SUI,
XRP.
I'm sorry. I'm just kind of referencing the SUI chart.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, but you are right, Mark. I say things wrong all the time. But remember the SUI chart. These lines were all the way down here. Okay. Remember that. They were getting ready to potentially cross. They already had crossed under the 0 line. Okay. But look at the difference in the strength of XRP. These bad boys are pointing straight up. And we're getting price. When you see green here versus light green, it means that the momentum is increasing right now. It means that these lines are separating. And whenever these lines fan apart, it means that momentum is moving actively to the upside. Okay. So the bottom line is that if I'm a chart trader and I had to pick between SUI and XRP, I would say that could SUI have a turnaround moment and be a buy real soon? Yes. But if you're a momentum trader and you're trading price and momentum that are in confluence, what does it mean for price and momentum to be in confluence? It means price is up and momentum is up. That's what this chart says. And so where is it going? And I'm just going to be sober-minded and realistic with you guys. My next target, which also I'm not going to show you the long-term view of the chart because I'm not going to make it super long, but 395 is a historic price point for XRP. With all of these things in confluence, I kind of like XRP to $4 in the same way that when I told you guys that I liked SUI from $3 to $5, I really like XRP right now from $3 to $3.95. Not saying it can't go higher. I'm just saying that's my immediate target. And you're never going to get from me, these guys who give you targets like 25 bucks on XRP, it's not a chart thing. So just please hear me. That's not a chart thing. That's them playing with market cap and comparing it to gold and silver and the dollar and to something else and projecting an idea. And if you want that, that's basically, I'm going to get biblical again. That's witchcraft. You might as well break some chicken bones and throw them in a pot with some dice and a couple feathers, because it's not real technicals. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't happen. Maybe Donald Trump creates a XRP reserve, but it would take news at that level to drive it up. I can't see it in the charts. Now, as far as what the charts tell me, if I go back in time and look at how XRP has behaved in the past, when it made a move like it's made recently, it created a flag pattern. I showed this in a video not too long ago, and it had a crazy breakdown that occurred over a very short amount of time, and then it reversed and shot way up. And so I've tried to prepare people recently the value of using a stop loss on their XRP, because in the past we had a move that literally brought it down back to, like, it would be as if XRP went down to 60 cents tomorrow. Not predicting that, but it would be like that, the move that we had in the past, only for it to turn around and go up to $7. So my high target for XRP is also somewhere between $7 to $10. But my immediate target, barring no breakdown, it appears it wants to hit $3.95. So hopefully you guys find some value in that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's a tough ask to get to $6, $7. It has to get to the market cap of ETH. And I'm not saying that it can't do that, because I didn't think XRP would get to where it's gotten. But I think when new administration came in and it seemed clear that the made in the USA coins and XRP was going to get a little bit of a healthy boost from some of the new administration, giving it a little bit of love, it certainly exceeded expectations. So you never say never on things. It's a big ask to get to $6, $7. Really, to $10 would be a huge achievement. But like you say, it's very possible, because you say things and then something new comes out and that changes the opinion on it, because the narrative has now changed. If XRP was to get an ETF, then the SEC drops the lawsuit and it gets its own little basket from the Trump admin for strategic reserve, that could really cause a lot of FOMO, a lot of big investors to come in there, and could take it to that $10 there. At the moment, I'm going to put it still at around, I think it can get to that $5-6 level, but that's based on what I know now and what I understand now. And certainly if things change, then my opinions on what price targets can get to can change as well.
I think that's really wise, Mark. Thank you for sharing that. I want to go over a couple comments here. Mike, advice: sell XRP at $4 to $5. Then when it goes down for the back test to $2.50 to $3, buyback. Hopefully goes to the promised land to $9 or $12. Remember this. I can't argue with Mike. There's some wisdom in that. And if I think what's going to happen for a lot of people who, let's say that XRP gets to $9. That's a target that I think is technically there. So I can see $9 as a technical point of interest and possibility in the chart. Let's say it gets to $9. The question is, when are you going to sell? Somebody made the comment that the video title was clickbait. It's not. The purpose of this video is to get some people to think about trusting the technicals, running with the technicals, and what is your sell strategy? Because I promise you, if you held this thing from 60 cents to $9, you're never going to sell. You're never going to sell.
I can say there, I mean, the title's crypto exit plan, correct?
What's that?
Bang on. the title, Crypto Exit Plan.
Yeah, that's the whole
And that's bang on. And I'll tell you why, because I can tell you the number one mistake that people made in the last bull run is they didn't have an exit plan and they got caught holding the bags. And do you want to know what the number one mistake that I'm finding in this crypto market when I talk to people and I have talk and do sessions with people is lack of a clear exit strategy of when they're going to be taking profits, how to take profits, and obviously the big one, which is buying the green candles and then panic selling the red ones. But really, it's at the end of the day, even if you did that, even if you kind of got a little bit mixed up and you bought a little bit high and things are going up, have an exit plan. And this is what Josh has been saying all along, to have a plan to exit. He exited Sui. Why? Because he had a plan.
Exactly.
He knew what he was going to do.
Exactly.
And he made money. And that's the goal of a trader, is to make money, not to take screenshots of your profit and share it on social media or Discord.
That is such a true meme.
Take the profit, put it in your jeans, get it out of the table. If you've got $30,000 in the market, what's a flex to me? That you managed to get $30,000 in profit and put it in your jeans. Now you're playing with house money and the game has changed for you. You're not riding every big pump and dip and whatever because you had an exit plan, you took profits, and then, of course, when there are big red candles and dips, and you don't want to buy a falling knife. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about confirmed support when there is red candles and the market's in fear and we have a trend reversal. Bang, you can get in and buy those dips. And that's what it's all about, having the exit plan, having that extra strategy. That's why I will take the original capital off the table I try and get it off around 500%. Sometimes I'm 300%. If you take profit at 500%, you still have 80% of your bag left. That's enough, guys. That is enough for you to be successful in this bull run and have your original capital back in the bank. So when your spouse and your significant other asks you, how's it going? You can say, great, I'm up in the crypto market and all the money that I invested is back in our bank account. That's the flex.
Yeah, I love it. Let's talk a little bit about Solana, and I want to mention. So I wanted to communicate with you guys. My active two largest positions are XRP and Ando. Those are my active two largest positions. And I also want to be clear, because I've already told you that I have no hodl positions in my Sui wallet. I've got the 3 Sui memes that we've shared with you guys, and I'm really doing that as part of a effort to find the next Sui gem if that continues to take off. But I'm also warning you that I already told you when I did that video, small position size. There is a path to wealth here. There's a path to riches at hand, even in this video, but some of it isn't as appealing to those who don't have ears to hear it, because some of it has to do with wealth preservation. And, so if you guys keep your money and we grow it, like I said, who brought you Sui at 70 cents and told you that it was time to sell at $5? If we do that even one more time in this crypto cycle, you will walk away with massive, massive wins. And you know what that next alert could be? And it's something that I want some of you guys to get prepared for. Go in the description of the video. One is the Discord, and you're going to continue to get crypto help there. But the other is a link to Blowfin, which is an exchange that doesn't require KYC, which means that you can use it as an American and not have to be blocked because you're an American. But you can get set up to begin to short crypto. Now, I am not calling for long-term hodl short positions on anything right now. But there's going to come a point in time when a lot of people walk away from this. And I want you to know that I'm going to be actively trading these projects to the downside for a couple years. And I just want you guys to get set up, because like I said, you only need to get this right a handful of times for your life to be permanently changed. That's a fact. And way more valuable than the next hot pick is how to be a consistent trader, how to read the charts, how to do this for yourself, which is part of the goal. It's why I spend so much time teaching the charts, and it's what we're doing over in the Stocks with Josh Discord. But Ando, let me briefly show you guys the Solana chart, because Solana has been, it's been in my top positions. Solana, Sui, Ando, and XRP, a little bit of some other projects, but those have been the big boys for me. I'm dropping big bags on those when I buy them. I'm not actively in a Solana position. I recently closed it up, and let me show you why. It's not bearish, but let me just show you the chart.
Well, Josh, you dropped the link for Blowfin. I get a lot of questions here, and
Go
there's
ahead.
some people asking here in the comments, the copy trading. Are people going to be able to do the copy trading of your trades on Blowfin?
I'm gonna look and see if that's something that can be done. I've moved. I moved from. I'm temporarily moving to California. I'm in California right now. I'm out here to take care of my father-in-law, and so that's a major life change for me to move from one. We're furnishing a house. We're getting set up, doing some things. I don't talk too much about it, but it's something that I will make available in the course of time. So the answer to that is yes. But if I don't copy trade with you on Blowfin, you still need to be set up to short these markets. If you're gonna take my alerts when I tell you which is the best coin to short right now as we enter into the winter, and which ones are showing huge weakness and are getting ready to fall apart. If you want to participate, you got to be in a position to do it. So go get set up, start learning the app, and that way when we enter into crypto winter, which I'm not saying we're in, I'm still expecting Bitcoin to get to 116,000, but there's going to come a point in time in which I begin to say, hey, this might be over. And then you want to be set up to go to make money as crypto falls. Because remember, everything, and I'm going to bring my face back on to say this, guys, all of the meme coins typically go down not a percentage point less than 95%.
Yeah.
Not a percentage point less than 95% to 98 or 99%. Can you imagine how much money is going to be made when this market is over and these projects like Fartcoin get obliterated back to 7 zeros? Can you imagine how much money I'm going to make? I'm going to make some money, folks. Let's go. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. All right, let's get to this screen and look at Solana. You guys can do it with me. I'm always here on YouTube sharing the plan. So Solana had this massive pump up. And matter of fact, literally as we're speaking, again, it's kind of doing the same thing that Bitcoin's doing. It's got a doji. Doji means same as. It means the opening and the close are the same. It means that there's not clear direction. But I can tell you that this is also called an evening star, okay? When you get a doji at the top of a big green candle, if we close this day out as doji and the next day opens and closes and begins to go down, this typically signals a move that could potentially bring us back to here on Solana, 125. And I know that sounds, ultimately. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not predicting that. The confirmation of this candle pattern not being an evening star would be a break of this top, okay? So a break of 270 would cancel this bearish pattern. But this is a pattern in trading, guys. This is a pattern in trading. It's called an evening star. And if it gets formed, again, we don't have the red candle yet. And then this red candle has to break the low of this green candle. And if that closes, then it tells you that we will roughly go down here. So I was buying Solana heavily here. I took profits here. I'm out for now on Solana. If we break the top wick here, I'll get back in. But Solana is doing well. Let's look at this, the MACD. Look at how much nicer it is than Sui's MACD. This is the weekly time frame. It's pointing up. Typically, this signaled a buy. So this red candle here was the cross up on the MACD. That was your signal to buy Solana, and that's actually why I bought it. If we go to the daily time frame, let's just look at that for a moment. This could be viewed as a flag pattern on a shorter time frame. Flag patterns are often bullish. But what it requires, as I said to you before, you have to break the top. So if this breaks to the upside and we get above this 270, then it's a bull party. The MACD looks good, so I like the MACD. There's no significant, there's a little bit of bearish divergence, but not enough to scare me. In general, Solana looks good. We had a beautiful run off of support up to this move. And again, that was my strategy. So if, this is a really nice pump we got here. If we break to the upside, then I'll favor a move back in. But again, this was a profit-taking scenario for me.
Yeah, I was doing the same. I took profits on 291. I cashed out most of my Solana at 290 odd there. I saw those wicking candles up the top there, a lot of rejection at resistance there. And I am seeing in the news, Josh, actually just now that the SEC has actually rescinded the SAB 121, allowing banks to custody crypto assets. So that's absolutely huge
That is
news.
huge
It
news.
literally broke just now in the last few minutes. Somebody alerted in the comments there, and I just looked it up to confirm that. So that's absolutely huge. And I think just clarifying everything here, even though the charts are looking a little bit bearish and the news of the hopeful Bitcoin strategic reserve wasn't really quite what everybody was looking for. Overall, both Josh and I still feel we're in a bull run. We still feel there's going to be an alt season. We still think Bitcoin dominance is going to break down and alts are going to do well. We're just saying being in the right alts at the right times, and that this is more of a trader's market than an investor's market. And just looking at some of the coins that we feel could be pivotal in this bull run as well. So I'm just reading through the comments here. In fact, the comments are actually really entertaining. If you see me laughing, I'm laughing because I'm reading the comments there. Are you not entertained with the comments there? Absolutely, a lot of fun you guys are having in there. I really enjoy reading what you've got to put in there. So I kind of said that, Josh, because I was reading a lot of the questions that were in there. And yes, I do plan on doing some videos on shorting. I'm pretty sure Josh will, in his live trading and stuff, will do some shorting there as well, because like Josh says, a lot of the altcoins go down between 90 and 95%. There's really tremendous opportunities to make money on the way down once the bull market is over. And, historically, we may not see the bull market finish until sometime between August and November. Maybe we'll see an early finish before May. And this is just underlines the importance of what Josh is saying, the importance of taking profits when they're there, selling those big green candles, not being married to your bags, and then buying those big red fearful candles, the dips.
Thank you, Mark. Everything Mark said perfectly expresses my position. I'm rolling between charts. Some are bullish, some are bearish.
Yes.
I told you XRP was bullish. I told you that SUI had huge concerns for me. I mentioned that XRP and Ando were two of my largest positions. Let me explain Ando to you right now. I'm going to show you this, and I think it's going to help you guys. So why is Ando one of my biggest positions? Very simple technicals. This isn't rocket science hybrid chart reading, guys. This is classic. You can Google search buy signal for MACD. And here's one of, because there's different buy signals on the MACD. Okay. One of them is when you're beneath the zero line, but price is above the 200-day moving average and you get a cross up. Okay. So what does that look like? This candle right here was the buy signal for getting into Ando. Okay. Right here. And so, can it change? Could this turn down? Sure, it could. But at the moment, Ando is worth taking risk on. And we haven't had a huge move up back to the recent highs. And so I think there's opportunity for that. And similarly, how I mentioned in other projects, the MACD is sort of in confluence. It had come down off of its highs. Momentum had come down. And so I would be, if we got to a place where momentum came up, but price had gotten higher all the way back to the top, well, that would be a sell signal. We don't have that. So what do we have on Ando, and why am I in Ando? We've got a classic buy signal. It's worth taking risk for me here versus some of the other projects that we've talked about today. Ando, is there still risk here? Yes, there's still risk here, but this is a classic buy signal above the 200, below the zero, crossover, classic buy signal. That's why I'm in Ando.
Yeah, I like the Ondo. I got out of Ondo, and this would be a classic thing what we're talking about. I got out of Ondo, rolled it into Sui, made like 400 or 500% on Sui, and then bought the Ondo dip down at like 75 cents. And now I'm back into Ondo and I'm building the Ondo position. And any further big dips on Ondo, I've got some low buy orders down there, even as low as 87 cents. You know, if we do see that Japan, the yen cash carry trade tonight, we don't know what we're going to get there. It'll be interesting. If we do see some little bit of fear and a wick down there, I've got some cheeky bids down there. I put some low. You just never know unless you have a go. I put those little cheeky bids in there if they get hit. And it's bonus time. If they don't get hit, well, they don't get hit. You know, if you don't have them there, you don't give them a chance to get hit. So I tend to like putting something really low there because you never know with crypto. You can get those moments that you get those flash crashes, and it's good to have in there. But Ondo, of course, BlackRock is big on it. We've had the big unlock already. That looked like it was fairly priced in from what I can tell. There wasn't a huge sell-off there. And so, yeah, I'm a buyer of Ondo, and it's in a made in the USA basket. CoinGecko now has a full section on that. So if you actually go to CoinGecko, you go to the categories section, and there a drop down. There's a made in the USA section. Click on that, and you can see all the made in the USA coins. And those are the ones to really keep an eye on if we get some good news about some tax breaks and exemptions for any of those coins made in the USA.
Yeah. And guys, again, not bearish on Sui. It's just that we are crossing below the zero line on the MACD. And I want you guys to be aware that if the blue line is your MACD line, the orange line is your signal line. If that orange line comes down beneath it as well, then it's a confirmed new bearish trend at resistance. Guys, it's basic stuff. I'm not like the wizard of charts. These are all basic
You are the
textbook.
wizard of charts. Come on. You are the wizard of charts. And here's the deal. Josh is just telling you, don't try and catch a falling knife. At some point, Sui is going to be a buy zone. You know, I know at some point, Josh is going to say, I just picked up another nice bag of Sui there. But right now, I would have to agree. I've got some buy orders set as well for Sui. I've got some targets to the downside. But I'm not buying at the current levels currently, no.
It's just not very exciting. It doesn't have the same thrill to get into Sui right now at near $5. I'm not. And listen, if we get a catalyst that starts rocket shipping these things, where do you think I'm going to turn? I'm going to go back to the one that fed me before. I'm going to go back to Sui. I just need something more to entice me. Somebody asked me for a technical on ADA, and I'm going to do some throwback love for the ADA bag holders. You know you shouldn't be holding that. I told you guys to sell your ADA a long time ago. I told you to roll it into Ando. Ando, man, back in the day was like at 60 cents, man. We were crushing it. But let's go look real quick at that chart, and then I'll probably wrap things up. I appreciate everybody who's been with me on this show. I love you guys. I appreciate all the support that we get. Me and Mark both get and feel a lot of love from you. You know, we're doing our best. We're research and study night and day, and trying to bring you the goods. So Ada, the chart, you know, I haven't looked at this in a while. Let's look at some moving averages. So 200, let's look at the 20. All right, so we are beneath the 20, which means that the bulls don't have charge of this right now. Let's go look at the 50. Okay, we're above the 50, which means it hasn't broken down yet. We've got some interesting, you know, in general, this is a potentially, let me pull this up here, guys. Okay, so I like to put these on because more than likely this is a good chart. Okay, so right here we have essentially a bullish descending channel, which means that even though The price peaked at $1.33. It is consolidating in a way that is rebuilding potentially for another move higher. Now, I'm sharing with you the way that I see the chart as I see it. So we have this huge move up. We have a continuation pattern of a descending bullish channel. And then this is the next thing I look for, a series of higher lows. Okay. So as long as we maintain these higher lows and we are above the 50, this is genuinely intact. Now, to get bullish and to get Josh to buy ADA, we'd have to get a breakout above the top of this channel, which relatively looks at this price point. Now, you guys are getting a class. I'm doing what I do when I'm not with you. So this is literally how I do what I do. The analysis is telling me, so if I was going to give a trade setup alert, it would only be a buy if we broke above $1.15. Now, does that mean that this is a sell? No, there's no sell alert because we go down here to the MACD and we're above the MACD. We're in bull territory. And here in our channel, we're on the top half of the channel. That's the bull side of the channel. We're making a series of higher lows. We're consolidating. In general, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this chart. I mean, I do see some bearish divergence between the peak here and the high price here. But like I said, a lot of cryptos have bearish divergence right now. I would only be concerned if we began to break these lows that I outlined for you. So probably the concern would set in with a break of the, looks like 85 cents. So at some point, I thought 74 cents was an important spot. I would say that the two areas of interest are $1.15 and 85. If it doesn't bounce on 85 or break above, that's your trade channel right there, guys. Those are your points of control. So that's what you're watching if you're an ADA investor. You're pretty much moving sideways in that channel. You get a breakout above it, you get a breakdown beneath it, okay? There's some love shown to the ADA army on the Stocks with Josh show, even though I told you guys to get out of that. Wait, you know what? I enjoyed myself. It was a fun time. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. We covered some good stocks. You know what I'm holding right now. You know what I think is good. And you know how I feel about Trump's executive order. It's not what I hoped. You know, we got to the day he's in the seat of power. He's signing his orders and we don't have a reserve. I told you that I never thought he was going to give us one. So remember that. I told you back in November and December that he never promised it at the Bitcoin conference. He brought up one of the congressmen and said, well, they're going to look into it. He never promised it. RFK came out and said that if you made him president, that he would create an executive order on day one to buy 500 Bitcoin a day. He said it, but Donald Trump never did, and he didn't give it to us today. There's no reason to cry about it. We're still in the Bitcoin bull cycle, and we're waiting for a catalyst to move us higher. Nothing's terribly broken down. We're going to have a very select crypto pickers altcoin season based on my view. Yeah. And I wouldn't be shocked if everybody just piles everything they own into the Baron coin when it comes out, and all of the legitimate
no Baron coin.
All the legitimate crypto projects go red. That's what I see down the road. Thank you guys for joining me. Mark, you're a wonderful guest. Thank you for all of your contribution in the Discord. Guys, if you want to be part of the fam, come join the Stocks with Josh community. It's the name of the show. www.stockswithjosh.com will take you to where you can sign up to become part of the Discord. And there's a lot going on there, a lot of great trades and a great community. The people there are great. The crown traders are great. I love it. Thank you guys for being part of it. Appreciate all of you. Peace and blessings. Take care.
Thank you. See you later.